Hello. Today we'll be learning about managing Python environment within um, your system, whether you're working with Microsoft Visual Studio Code or Anaconda or Esri's Arc Pro or any other software which you are using Python for. Knowing how to set up the Python development environment is pretty crucial for improving the efficiency of developing Python applications. Um, you must have seen conda commands, which are pretty common for creating or cloning a Python environment and installing new modules. Conda commands are provided basically by the anaconda.org, the Anaconda organization, which also takes care of the Python module library. So when you type like conda install um, to install any Python package, the computer will go to Anaconda website, fetch the specified Python package, and install the package on your computer. You can also use pip install, but it can't be used to clone or create a new Python environment. When you use pip install, the computer goes basically to the server managed by py.org and install the packages from there on your computer. In this demonstration, we will be looking at Visual Studio Code, which is basically an IDE, integrated development environment, which can be used to write and debug Python script and Jupyter Notebook script. And in order to work with Python in it, you need to have a Python environment. So today we'll learn how we can create a new Python environment within our system or within our computer. So let's start from, assuming that you have created a new folder wherever you are working off of, whether it's your hard drive, your SSDs, or your inbuilt storage system on your CPUs. So currently you can see that I have a ArcGIS Pro Py3 Clone 1 environment, which is active and which is coming off of my C drive. And if I want to change my drive, or set my drive to the folder where I want to clone the Python environment, the first thing I need to do is change my directory. And for that, we're going to use command cd. In my case, it's in my E drive, and my folder name is Python_environment. And once I do that, just click OK. And once that's done, you can hit E. And as you can see, now I'm working still off of Py3 clone 1, which is my active environment, but my folder or my current directory has changed to the E drive, which means anything I'm going to do here will be stored within that particular folder. So now we're going to use the conda create environment command, and that goes basically by conda create your prefix, Python_environment, that's the name, and you're saying the version of Python. In my case, I want to go with 3.9. It's up to 3.11 now. So this is just a good way to make sure whichever Python version you want on your system. So I'm going to go with 3.9 and hit enter. And once you do that, it's going to start collecting the package metadata, solving environment, and then it's going to prompt with a yes or no for the new package to be installed. And we're going to say yes. And once you do that, it's going to go on and install the new environment. Now, once it's installed, we need to do conda activate, which is basically you're saying to the computer that activate this particular Python environment for me from my system. So we're going to wait until it's done. And it might take a minute or two to get done. And you can make sure what version of Python is being installed. In this case, a 3.9.17 that's being installed. In case if you want a different version, you can always change it right in here. Right around this line, you can change it. And it's almost done. So now let's go ahead and activate our new environment. And now you can see my eDry, my Python environment, which I created, is the one is currently active. You can name it differently, whatever you like. So now we have our Python environment, which is created and active. Now, we don't have any packages in it. So in order for us to install any packages in it, we can use conda channel or pip channel. So for example, if I say conda install pandas, it's going to start and go and go to the Anaconda organization and look for the pandas package and just say yes. So it will install all of these different packages which contain NumPy, NumPy base, pandas, um, and all the other dependencies that comes with it. So as you can see, some of the packages are large and you can see the progress right here. And once it'll be done, it will give you a successful installation message that this particular package was successfully installed. So once this is done, we'll try an example with pip. We can install Jupyter Notebook within our current Python environment, and we'll use pip command to do that. Now, sometimes you might see this online when you search for conda packages. There's also a thing called conda forge. And that's basically an additional channel from which packages may be installed. And you can look it up what packages are under conda forge or which comes under conda. If you simply search within your preferred search engine about conda install Fiona, conda install pandas, conda install raster.io, it will show you whether that particular package is coming from conda or conda forge. All right, so now the pandas package is installed. As you can see, it's successfully done. We're going to see an example with pip install notebook. And what this will do is this will go ahead and install notebook and all the dependencies required for the Jupyter Notebook within that particular Python environment. Again, if you're in doubt on installation or missing a package, use your preferred search engine, look for that particular package, and usually there will be information regarding how to install using it pip or conda, or any other preferred way that you want to do it. So make sure you look things up first and then go ahead and use your Python command prompt to do the job for you. Now, you can see that when you're installing Notebook, there's a bunch of different dependencies that comes within that particular package and gets installed in here. Now, sometime some of these packages might give you an error in case it is dependent on some other package which is not up to date as per the requirement of this particular package that you're trying to install. So in that case, you have to update that package that's causing the issue, and then try to reinstall the new package that you're working with. But this is just a pretty simple way of using your Python command prompt and install new packages, create a Python environment to work within Visual Studio Code. So that's done. So now let's go ahead and open Visual Studio Code. And in this case, I already opened the new file. I want to open a Python file, and I'm in it. So now the first thing you need to do is select your environment here. So let's open up my command palette, and you can do that by view, command palette, and you can select a Python interpreter. So usually you would expect that whatever Python environments you have on this computer are gonna, be visible here. So in this case, the one that we just created is this Python 3.9.17 Python environment, python.exe. And once you hit click on that, that's selected, and we can open up a new terminal just to see that it's activated. And as you can see, when you open the terminal up, the Python environment that we created is currently active. So anything that you'll do here will be working off of that particular environment. We can type in import pandas as PD, and it did run without any error because we do have the pandas package installed within that particular Python environment. Now, if you don't have that installed, it's going to give you error. We can try import arcpy. And that ran successfully, which means you're fine. It's there. So if you have some package which is not installed, it's going to give you error. You can say import raster.io, and let's see. It did not give us an error. Okay, let's try running it. It's gonna prompt us to save it. For now, let's just say test. So as you can see, within our code block, there is no package named arcpy. It's giving the error right away here. So let's remove that and run it again. As you can see, there's no module named raster.io right up here. We can zoom in and look at it right around here. No module named raster.io. So in order for you to import any modules, you have to first install it within your Python environment. In the case of pandas as PD, let's run that. And that ran successfully. So there's no error, which means we have installed this package successfully within our Python environment. So that's just one way to do it. Again, you can click on View, go to Command Palette, select Python interpreter, and select your desired Python interpreter that you want to work with within Visual Studio Code. Sometimes this is the hardest part to set up if you're a beginner in Python, and hopefully this will help you set up your Python environment easily. If you come down here in your launch profile, you can actually go to select default profile and also set up a default profile of your Python environment. So if you click here, you can see that currently it's to the C users, but if you actually navigate to your Python environment folder and copy the path, which in my case is from E drive, and if I do that, you can see that I can remove that, type in my path, and hit enter. And once you do that, it's going to make this ePython environment as my default Python environment. I'm going to just say escape to cancel it. So in this video, you learned about creating a Python environment from Python command prompt, installing a bunch of packages using conda and pip, and how you can use that environment within your Visual Studio Code and run your Python code within it.